your insight throughout our news. Now we move on to our next news. The U.S. has welcomed a decision by Beirut to instruct the Lebanese armed forces to draw up plans to bring all weapons under state control by the end of this year. Principal Deputy Spokesperson for the U.S. State Department, Tommy Pigott, emphasized that this is considered an important step towards Lebanese sovereignty. He also stated that the U.S. is closely monitoring developments in Lebanon. Let's listen in.
Says the United States welcomes the Lebanese government's decision on Tuesday to task the Lebanese armed forces with a plan to bring all weapons under state control by the end of the year. This is an important step towards Lebanese sovereignty. We continue to watch developments in Lebanon very closely. Special Envoy Tom Barrack made it clear what the president needs to see. As long as Hezbollah retains arms, words will not suffice. The Lebanese armed forces must fully commit and act now to fully implement the government's decision. The credibility of Lebanon's government rests on its ability to match principle with practice.
The United States has presented Lebanon with a proposal for disarming Hezbollah, along with ending Israel's military operations in the country and the withdrawal of its troops from 5 positions in South Lebanon. In a cabinet meeting held by the Lebanese army, detailed steps for disarming Hezbollah group was discussed as per reports. Following this, Lebanese information minister said that the cabinet approved the objectives of U.S. envoy Tom Barrack's plan, but did not discuss it in full detail. Here's what he said.
فقط اقتصر نقاشنا وقرارنا على الأهداف على الأوبجكتيفز ما دخلنا بالمراحل الزمنية. نحن بانتظار تقرير خطة تنفيذية من قبل قيادة الجيش اللبناني لنستكمل القرارات المتممة لقراراتنا سواء اليوم أو بجلسة قبل.
Now we're joined by Keith Vaz. He's a former UK minister, joins us live from London. Thank you, Keith, for joining us today. Good to see you. Now, do you think this move will be effectively reducing the influence of non-state actors like Hezbollah in Lebanon?
Good afternoon, Asma from London. Well, actually, we're in Leicester today, so good afternoon from Leicester. I think that this is a welcome decision if it can be implemented. Of course, what's important is to understand the pressure the Lebanese government is always under because of the nature of Lebanon, how it was established, the different factions, different groups that are involved. I last went to Lebanon a few years ago, and it was a wonderful, peaceful country. Since then, of course, we've had these attacks going out of Lebanon from Hezbollah, and we've had the attacks coming in from the Israelis. So for the Lebanese people, they have been in the middle. I think the crucial question here, Asma, is whether or not this can be delivered, whether or not the Lebanese government can take control of the situation, or will they be left in a situation which means, to be frank, the conflict will just continue. So getting a deal is great, and we all know that Donald Trump and his envoys are very keen on deals, but it's whether or not they can be implemented. And some people might ask, why hasn't this happened before? The answer is because it's a tough job being Prime Minister of Lebanon and running a country like Lebanon, because everyone else seems to want to be involved. The Americans, the Russians, the Israelis, Hezbollah, everyone else. And so the elected government is in difficulties in deciding what should happen. So let us have a look at the deeds as well as the words. The words are welcome, but at the end of the day, we need the deeds. And the end of the year, we're now in August, it's really only round about 4 months left till the end of the year. So it's not much time to regroup and take control of the country.
Yes, and Keith, just like you mentioned, realistically, there's very less time to implement this. And do you think that Lebanese army is strong enough if Hezbollah is disarmed within Lebanon to protect itself from Israel as well as Syria right next to it?
Well, that is the fear that it must have, that in a sense, even though Hezbollah is a problem, it is a shield and people are unlikely to want to attack Lebanon because of the presence of Hezbollah. This is a very, very complicated history, and there's only been a very few years in which Lebanon has had absolute peace. It's an absolutely beautiful country. Beirut is one of the great cities of the world, and I think the people of Lebanon want nothing more to get on with their lives and make sure that they are prosperous and strong, and for themselves and their families, they have a future. They can't do that if there is war, if there are constant attacks being made on it by Israel and Hezbollah using Lebanon as a base to attack Israel. So that is why the Israelis were getting so worked up about it, because of the fact that it is in some way a base against them. So let's hope that the Lebanese government can take control and can ensure that something of value happens.
Yes, let's hope that. Please stay with us, Keith, as we come back to you for our next discussion as well. Now we move on. US President Donald Trump